I have excerpts from a number of books, in particular David Gemmell excerpts, as I think that they are pretty awesome books. I love the way that David Gemmell writes, the simplicity of his words, and the heroic scenes that he sets up in his books, along with the many wonderful characters that he has created. David Gemmell is one of my favourite authors amongst the fantasy genre. This podcast is, in a small way, paying homage to someone who I think has inspired myself into seeking an occupation that I hope I can develop into a good one: a narrator. This is The Story Zone, a narrator's podcast. This podcast is really an experiment. I'm really, for the most part, trying to develop my narration skills, and the only way I know how to improve is through doing a podcast. If you are listening, I hope that you are enjoying the stories. If you have any particular suggestions as to a possible story that could be narrated, why not send me an email, or you could message me on the Story Zone Facebook page. If you are a new and up-and-coming author, or even if you're not so new and up-and-coming, you might have a particular excerpt that you think would go well with this podcast. Please don't hesitate to contact me about your story. One thing that I can assure everyone is that this is a podcast dedicated to telling stories, narrated stories. And because these stories will be mostly other people's stories, I will make this complete and full addendum. This will be a podcast that will not make any money. I repeat, it will not make any money. At least not for me. I will not ask patrons for donations. I will not ask for sponsorship or advertising. I will not make money from this particular podcast. Now, let's move on into the Story Zone.